And again with Luke's at Tri-County. Today's project I wanted to show you is a bag that we're going to do on the serger. We have the Elna 864 here with the air threading, which is fantastic. But what's special about today's bag and using a serger is we're going to be putting in this zipper that you see with your serger. And then I will slip over to the sewing machine to do top stitching after I have the zipper installed. So for your pieces, what you'll need is a zipper. You want your zipper longer than the width of your fabric. I made my fabric 7 inches wide, 7.5 by 9 inches long. And then this is my lining. And I also used the 101 interfacing to give it a little bit of strength, stiffness. So let's get started. Okay, so I want to mention that these pieces can be any size bag that you want to make. You just want a rectangular shape because when we're done, it'll go up to about that size. So they can be any size you want. I have them together now. I ironed on my interfacing, and it is not right sides together. It's wrong sides together to make your sandwich. And then we're going to take our zipper. As I mentioned, you want your zipper longer, wider than your fabric. And we're going to put it up here, the zipper side face down, along the edges, like this. Okay, so we have our zipper face down on the right side of the exterior fabric. We've lined it up here. I want to mention, in this project, we will have our blade off. We will not be cutting. So what we'll do is have your foot up, line it up. Now for me, oh, it looks like my blade is still up. So I'm going to turn that off. There. So now mine's secure and my blade will not be cutting my fabric. And I'm going back under here. And I am going to align my zipper edge on this last line of my serger. That's just a place mark for me to get it where I want it. Put my foot down, and it's really this easy. It's just like a seam. Now you do want to hold it. It does want to tend to move it as it butts up against this part of the zipper. So I just stay close and hold it. When I come to the end, I'm just going to sew off the edge. And that won't matter because you'll see when we go to do our side seams, this gets cut off anyway. Okay, so now we turn this over, and I'm going to go over to the ironing board and iron that down. I have my iron-on steam. I'm just pressing on it. It's a nylon zipper. I should have mentioned, for putting a zipper in on your serger, do not use a metal zipper, but use a nylon. Okay, so I've ironed that seam down, and then you'll notice the lining tends to creep out at the bottom here. So I want to trim that before I sew on the other side of the zipper. I like to get things as lined up as I can before I put it under a machine. Okay, so we've trimmed this bottom part up. Now we're going to bring this up to the top of the other side of the zipper, opposite of where we sewed the other one. And we are going to make our seam right on here. And again, you probably want to hold this as it moves. And again, just taper off at the end. So now we have both sides of the zipper sewn. We're going to turn this inside out, right side out actually. And now I'm going to go back over to the iron. I'm going to iron this down. And then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to do a top stitch along the edge of the exterior fabric and the zipper just to hold that down for when it's done. Okay, so now I've got this ironed down. I want to mention that I'm going to open up this zipper, but I'm going to be careful when I'm done. Well, we'll talk about that when we do the seams, but it's easier for me to do the top stitching along the zipper with the zipper open. So I'm back on the Janome M7, which I've mentioned before because I love this machine. I have my zipper foot on, and I have a decorative blue thread in here to do that top stitching. So I'm going to start out and do a little back stitch. Try and stay close to that edge. And keep my finger pressing against the seam that I want to face down. And I will reverse at the end there, cut my threads, flip it over, and do the other side. Alright, so now I'm inside out. If you want to have your zipper on top, you can leave it like this. I like the design where you come down a little bit, I just pull this down, and so the zipper will be kind of like, I'm just going to finger press that, and you see my zipper will be down that far from the top. It's off the what would be the seam on the top of the bag if you left it like that. And so now we're just going to do a seam here and here, flip it inside, right side out with that little zipper opening, and we'll be done. I want to mention that in another video I did on sergers, I mentioned about hiding the tail inside the seam here. When you're not using the blade, I'm not going to do that. So after I'm done, what I will do is use this fray check on my seams, so at the ends the seams of the serger won't come undone, just so you know. And it went right over that zipper, no problem. You didn't hear any noises. Let's do our last seam. So I'm going to cut down here this excessive and those are the spots I will use the fray check on. I will go back after I open this up so you can see it now. And our bag is done. Your fingers in here to get those corners pointed out. And then on top. And here we have our bag with a zipper done on your serger.